BoLS fans, Larry Vela, and today we have the book everyone is waiting for. We're super excited. Let's dive into the Wrath of Magnus. All right, I'm back with AdamHarry.
Yep, I'm back here. We've got Wrath of Magnus.
It is here. Here it is. Dun dun dun. All right, Wrath of Magnus.
Show off the back real quick.
Here we go. I know no
This
one
is
ever
a
shows.
slipcase.
It is a slipcase, as you can see. It is. Cool. There it is. There's a crazy Zinch thing.
Yes.
Eyes, birds,
That's
magic.
like one of their silver tower things floating around.
Wrath of Magnus.
Warzone Defenders Part 2.
It is slipcover. We've seen this format before in two books. One of them is rules. One of them is completely fluff.
Now,
we're gonna.
Before we get into that too, are we gonna talk about the story up to this point, or are we gonna go into all that, or how do you want to do that part?
We're gonna really briefly show you a handful of pages of the book, just so you can get
rules for sure.
Just so you can get. This is on the fluff book. Just so you can get an idea of the artwork and kind of what's going on. But we're not in any way going to talk about what actually happens because we don't want to give the plot away. I'm just gonna say it's called the Wrath of Magnus.
Right.
So you take what you want to from that.
I just want to say, just to set the stage real quick, we've had the Chaos has invaded Fenris, the system of Fenris. There's multiple planets that are being attacked by Chaos demons.
The Wolfen has returned.
Wolfen have returned.
Where the Wolfen returned, there were demons, so something was up.
They brought them all with them or whatever.
The Grey Knights got involved.
Grey Knights showed up. Inquisition showed up. There's
the Dark Angels, all the suspicious people.
They have bombed a planet.
They have bombed one of the worlds of the Fenris system.
There's a lot of betrayal and treachery going on, but at the same time, at this point in the story, when we last left off, they've basically agreed to work together to fight the bad guys who have finally revealed themselves to be Magnus and his crew.
But we also know, as part of the cliffhanger of part 1 of the series, that the little he secretly on the side, orchestrating all of it from the bridge of the rock with the Dark Angels and the Grey Knights, is the Changeling.
Correct.
He's in there messing with it all.
Right. And again, we're skimming over a lot. That's a really quick summary. Go read Legacy of Rust. There's like 8 books to go check out.
There's a ton of stuff.
There's a ton of stuff. That's just setting the stage.
Okay.
So when we get into the lore,
we're going to go through it really quick.
We're going to go real quick. We're going to show off some stuff. Again, from this point out, spoilers, obviously, so you have been warned.
And we will be spending a lot more time on the rules.
Right.
And same thing when we're going through the rules, folks. We're not going to be going page by page.
No.
We're giving you a little taste of it. We want you guys to go out and buy it. This thing is awesome. First, we have to figure out how to get these like electromagnetically sealed books out of the slipcover.
So here's the 2 books.
All right.
Look at them. I like the fact that Armin and Magnus have made amends and are now hanging out.
Remember, Magnus gets the fluff. Armin gets the rules.
That's right. And then just real quick, the back of the books. Nobody shows those off. More cool art. So.
Oh, there's a thing.
What's yours say?
It says, "The stain of chaos fouled the skies. The Crimson King arose from myth
20
and brought upon the sons of Russ a grievous blow, slain of worlds."
Whoa.
Or wolves. Kind of hard to. It's like the super old English font. So some of those letters are worlds.
On Fenris fell the Cyclops blade. The weave of mortal life was shorn. And vengeance wrought long eons before, reflected in a lake of fire. That doesn't sound good at all. Fire.
All right. So
we're start with this one.
All right. Here we go. This is our book of lore. This is. There's not a rule in this thing. This is going to continue the story. Except we're going to flip through it kind of briefly.
Yep. Really cool art.
Hey, where have we seen that before?
Yep. On the back, this thing.
Wrath of Magnus, a saga of spite and vengeance.
It's revenge. It's 10,000 years in the making.
I'm thinking this is just like 120 pages of payback.
I think it is.
This is just. Yeah. Okay, so here are all the people who are involved.
We've seen this before.
The dramatis
personae.
There they all are. You get all the totally amazing miniatures. This book, you're going to see lots of this. This book is just all the super awesome miniatures. Echoes in Time, get a little bit of background.
This is from Battle Burning.
Yes, this is the actual art from Burning. This is from the cover of Prospero. So you get your setup of, hey, long to 10,000 years ago.
This is what had happened was.
This is what had happened. You get,
a really quick recap. These are all art from the Saga of Rust.
This section here, this is a recap
Legacy of Rust.
Of Legacy of Rust. This is the
more recap. Yep.
More recap. This is the wolf. The demons are showing up, and then the Dark Angels.
Story.
Right. This is all recap with just all.
Awesome artwork. Too.
All the art from part 1.
Yep.
You get a totally awesome map
of the Fender sector, which is really cool.
You get to see all the major worlds, what's going on.
Just real quick, can we go back one? I want to point this out. I always love these space maps, but it shows you kind of, here's the galaxy. Fenris is right here. Armageddon's right there. Terra is here. The Eye of Terra is up here. So Fenris is kind of to the northeast of Terra, galactic northeast.
Right, and it's not like right in the vicinity of the Eye, but it's near the Eye.
Yeah, it's a couple of
It's
jumps,
strangely halfway between the Eye and Prospero.
Huh. Just want to throw that out there.
Just gonna put a. Yep. Okay. Miniatures. Here we go. So, Crisis Point.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. The story continues. There's a bunch of Grey Knights. They're gonna do stuff. They're gonna continue the story. We're gonna flip.
We just want to show the art, really.
Yeah, we're gonna show the art. We're gonna flip a few pages up. Chaos Unleashed.
Really cool. I like how they do the angle art too.
Yep. Really nice stuff. Flip a few more pages up. Here's pages which are cool. This is a little section where we're just getting to see bios of all of the different worlds.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Including Fenris itself.
Fenris.
Pretty awesome. Let's flip a few more pages up here. There's a big, huge, giant battle. It's clearly taking place in Azahheim.
Yep.
That doesn't look good. That right there.
I don't know what's going on, but
that looks like a big floating chaos.
There's another one.
That looks like a silver tower. Is what that looks like.
Yeah.
That looks like 2 silver towers, to be honest.
It's like the 2 towers.
Or it's a giant floating space squid. But I'm gonna go with the silver tower.
Yeah, it could be both. Why not?
Moving on, Chapter 3, the Serpent and the Wolf, and that's that looks like Lehman Russ actually.
No, that's a Wolfen dude.
Oh, it's a Wolfen.
He's all wolfed out.
Is that a Wolfen? Okay, all right. More maps. Everyone loves maps.
Midgard. That's the one that got firebombed by the Dark Angels.
Yes. So something is going on with Midgardia in this. We know at the end of the first book, this is what they were. There was a demonic incursion occurring, and the Dark Angels were in orbit with the Inquisition, and they were like, bomb it, drop the bombs.
Whenever demons show up in a sector, Inquisition's just all about nuking them from orbit. Just nuke it and move on. So
Logan's Rage.
On the boat.
They're the Space Wolves, and they're fighting. We're going to flip many more pages forward.
Whoa.
Same thing. Really awesome artwork.
Very cool. There's Magnus in the middle.
We have Screamers.
Summoning circle.
That is certainly Magnus.
Yeah.
That is Magnus. There's lava. Hey, look, there's lava falling onto Lehman.
Burning. Oh, that's not subtle at all.
Yet another day in the Astra Militarum.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip way to the back.
They got AC in there, right? They should be okay.
We will flip. We're not gonna give it away. We're gonna flip way to the back. You get all your hobby sections.
Sweet.
Chapter 4, Sons of the Cyclops. This is the cool part. This is the typical. You get to see how.
Wait.
It's your paint schemes.
We have a Harlequin fight here. That's just cool.
We
don't see that very
Harlequins
often.
versus Thousand Sons and Armin. That's interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so moving past that, we have our cool hobby section. So we see these in all the books. So you get to see different examples of how to paint all your guys up, which is cool. So what we're going to
how to count like 1,000 sun,
which is cool. Oh wow, that is cool. Oh, that's interesting. Also, you're going to get to see all of the different sects of the Thousand Sons, and I'm sure they all have their different paint schemes. Because I'm curious as to whether or not they're like, are they all blue and gold, or are there going to be color variations in there?
That's a good question.
So these are the Thralls of Magnus. These look like the kind of the traditional guys, and the sorcerers have red.
Ooh.
The Secti Prosperine, they like purple. That's the more so the moral story.
The base color is the same.
Yep,
but
blue and gold with purple trim, and the Zongors are purple or teal.
I like that. That's a good mix.
Tiskin, but yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah,
it has like a Miami Vice kind of.
I know. I want to roll my sleeves up now. I'm not wearing sleeves up. Tugs. Prism of Fate. This is a different kind of teal blue.
Yeah, this is the most different scheme we've seen. Yeah, because this dispenses all together with the traditional blue. It's like an aqua and gold with purple trim, and the guys wear black and yellow.
I'm disappointed nobody's in the old school red, from the Heresy era.
That's what, and then this is super.
Whoa!
This is
inverted.
This is inverted. They're all gold with blue trim, Kind of cool. The Blades of Magnus. We like that. And then we got one more over there. There we go.
There's my red. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. The Exiled and Estranged. So these are basically people who left with Ahriman.
Okay.
And those guys, apparently the sorcerers, they kept their colors.
Some of them,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So it looks like the moral story is that the rubrics, all the people who kind of became the all is dust automatons, those guys are all blue, but it's the sorcerers who kind of keep their individuality. And they're kind of, except these guys. Check this. This is like
Grand Order of Hermetic Blade. Whoa.
Well, what we basically have here is Exiles and the Estranged. This is actually 5 different ones. So
okay.
There's 5 different.
There's just a lot of variety. Whatever, it's a hobby.
But the moral of the story is for all you heresy guys out there, if you love the original Thousand Sun scheme,
you can do it.
Bang.
You can still do it.
You can still do it. That's true, because those are rubrics. You can absolutely do it.
Yeah. All right, so that was pretty much it for the lore book. Again, it's a pretty good book, a pretty good size book. So definitely worth
Let me get you a page count on that really quick. About 140.
Nice. Then we have this book, The Rules, which I know everybody's been dying to get into.
The Wrath of Magnus. All right, are we ready? Here it is. This is the rules. We're going to go through this. Like I said, this is going to be really teasery.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be going page by page. It's not what this is about. We want you guys to be super excited about it. We're super excited about it.
We are going to show some stuff off.
We're going to show. There will absolutely be reveals in here. So be ready.
Big spoilers coming at you. Here we go.
If you don't want spoilers,
this is your last chance.
You should just turn off your camera right now.
Yeah. No.
Put on big black glasses. Lower the blast shield, Luke.
Here we go.
All right.
First off, same art. Let's look at the table of contents. All right.
Okay, so we have, first thing right off the bat that we want to point out is that this is actually two sub-books.
Ooh.
We have Chaos Space Marines. This is what everybody has been talking about. This is all the new miniatures. They're all in here. You can see we have forces of them, and then all of the different units are here. Ahriman, Exalted Sorcerer, Zongor, Rubric Marine, Scarab Occult, Magnus the Red. It goes all the way down. There's
We're going to be getting into formations.
There's formations in here. Let's talk about, look at this.
An armory.
All of the standard psychic disciplines and a new one.
Okay.
The Discipline of Tzeentch.
Yeah.
The other 4, Sinistrum, Heretic, Ectomancy, and Geomortis, these are the standard ones. Chaos already has these.
They just got those, yeah.
Yeah, we saw those in their last update.
And then these are probably missions, I'm guessing. Altar of War.
Yep, there's going to be missions. Yeah, lots of different missions. You'll get their special rules.
So what's up with the demons? What do we got
over here? Chaos Demons. Forces of Chaos Demons. It's the same thing. So there's a whole set of units here. Pink Horrors, Blue Horrors, Brimstone Horrors. Brimstone Horrors. Those are the little tiny demons.
From Silver Tower, yeah.
From Silver Tower.
Yeah.
So all those weird little models that were referenced over there, they're all coming over now into 40K.
Very cool.
And so basically, this is just an entirely different army.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do an entirely different army. Their formations.
Kind of like Khorne Demonkin for Tzeentch, but not, maybe?
Oh, and then we have their detachment.
Oh, so they get detachments too.
So they get a detachment, just like all the other people. So it looks like there's disciplines. I'm gonna guess that this is the detachment for the Thousand Suns. So theirs is called the Grand Coven, and I'm sure it's gonna be crazy. And for Chaos Demons, looking through this, for Tzeentch Demons, it looks like it's that, the Pandemoniad of Tzeentch.
It's gonna be crazy.
All right. They're gonna get special rules, all kinds of stuff. So there we go. First thing, there's 2 new, basically, sub-factions in this book.
So where are we gonna go first?
All right. So chapter 1, Chaos Space Marines. This is the section of the book. This is all about the Thousand Suns.
Yes.
So this is what we wanted to see. Look at these. Same thing. Amazing artwork. It's super awesome. Look at that Ahriman miniature.
It's so cool.
That is crazy. It's
yes.
nuts. Just look at all the detail on the top of the disc.
Oh yeah, it's redonkulous.
Also,
I love that it's just they took the old miniature and just went to 11 with it. You know, they exaggerated all those details and made them better.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty much in the same pose.
Yeah,
he was in before. They just made him go to they made him go to 11. He's
like the
plastic
car model,
now.
you know, but it's better.
His cape is flowing. He has magic sizzling out. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Also, just so you guys know. Not really a spoiler, but this model, the Ahriman model, you can purchase him on foot or with a disc.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to be on there. So which probably explains, like, you notice you're like, wow, he's actually there's a very flat line on his robes and feet. That's why, because you can just put him straight on his base if you want to.
Cool.
But who's not going to put him on a disc?
Yeah.
He looks so good. He looks so good. Here's the Scarab Assault Terminators. They're
cool.
just crazy looking.
The
Normal
crazy
rubrics
Soul
up
Reaper
here.
cannon. Yeah.
It's nuts. Okay, so flipping along. We have this is the standard boilerplate. You get this in everything. This Forces of the Chaos Space Marines. This tells you how it's going to work. You get data sheets in here. You get
Formations, attachments. Goes over the psychic disciplines. Legacy of the Fallen Preferred.
You can also organize your Chaos Space Marines collection as a Thousand Suns Grand Coven, enabling you to field an entire army of Thousand Suns and enjoy the powerful command benefits your army gains for doing so. So, there's a lot of interesting things here. This is kind of the introduction into this entire book. Psychic Disciplines talks about all the different psychic disciplines, including the new one.
Discipline of Tzeentch.
You can turn your enemy's own weapons against them with the Treason of Tzeentch power.
All right.
Going for that.
That's something they had before.
They're going to get your own artifacts and relics, of course.
Yep.
And you're going to get new warlord traits and new tactical objectives and new missions.
So we're going to show off. We're actually going to show off a data sheet.
We are. So after this page is the actual units. We're not going to go through every unit in this book. You want to see that? Go buy it. It's going to be awesome. What we're going to show you is we're just going to show you one sample spread. And let's show you.
Which one are we going to show?
Which one? What do you think? What do you think, Internet? This is your chance. Vote.
We're listening.
Vote. We're listening.
No, we're not.
5 seconds.
Let's go.
No, we're not. Boom.
Boom.
Scarab Assault Terminators. Magnus the Red.
Man.
This is this is the big kit everybody wants to see. Magnus is
definitely Lord of War.
He is a Lord of War. 650 points. 650 points.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Let's take a look at. Actually,
I don't even know where to start. Yeah.
Where do we even start? Okay.
Let's just go with his special rules.
Let's look at his stats.
Okay.
7/7, weapon skill, ballistic skill. Guy doesn't miss.
No.
8 strength, 7 toughness, 7 wounds. Liking that. 7 initiative. He's fast. 6 attacks. Obviously leadership 10. Save with 4 up. He is a flying monstrous creature.
And a character.
And he is unique. Okay. Special rules. A lot of stuff not surprising. Adamantium Will. He's a Demon of Tzeentch. He deep strikes. Eternal Warrior.
Yep.
Fearless. Fleet. It will not die. Psychic Mastery level 5. Let's just repeat that again. You want to say it with me? Mastery level 5. Yep. And Veterans of the Long War.
Shockingly enough.
Special rules. Omniscient Eye. Magnus has line of sight to every unit on the battlefield when determining the power of the targets of his psychic powers. That's great. So that's the whole thing, right? Magnus has the eye, and it's the all-seeing.
He sees everything.
It's totally not the Eye of Sauron. I don't know where they got that idea from.
I don't know.
It's totally not. But he has one eye, and he can see everywhere magically. That's all I'm going to say. Unearthly power. Magnus harnesses warp charge points on a result of 2+.
So he just 2 ups.
Yeah, so there you go. Once again, Magnus breaks the rules. Moral of the story? Magnus breaks the rules. His warlord trait, Lord Flux. We don't know what that means.
It's on page 34.
It's on page 34. You can find out.
But he also knows the Gaze of Magnus,
psychic power,
later on,
which we'll get to later, and all of the powers from the Tzeentch and Change disciplines. Okay, and then we have his Chaos artifacts. The Blade of Magnus is AP2 melee force soul blaze with transmorgify.
Okay.
So it does something else that is on page. I'm going to guess that does something to transform you into something that you probably don't want to
spawn.
Like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Also
on top of that too, we have
Crown of the Crimson King.
Yes.
Magnus has a 4 invulnerable save, never suffers from perils of the warp.
Shockingly enough.
Shocker.
Yeah.
No perils of the warp for Magnus.
Huh.
He's awesome.
Wow, yeah.
I predict this model is going to fly off the shelves. One, it's beautiful. This is one of those things where
centerpiece model.
Well, we are seeing the combination of shockingly good model, totally awesome rules.
Yeah.
You put both these together, you're hitting it out of the ballpark.
Yeah. I mean that 7 wounds, toughness 7.
Not mutilators. Not like mutilators.
The opposite of those.
The opposite of mutilators.
Well, let's talk about the Scarab Assault Terminator.
Right. So we've seen the
Occult Terminator.
Scarab Occult. We've seen the craziness. Now we're going to see a unit that they're beautiful models, But these are these are Rubric Terminators. So let's they're not sorcerers. Let's not assume that these are going to be crazy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's true. He is a sorcerer. Look at that. Okay, so the leader is a sorcerer.
Yep. So you start the unit. You get 4 regular guys and a sorcerer.
Yep. 250 points. So 50 points a pop.
Roughly.
A little more than normal Terminators.
Well, they're going to be 40 points a pop, but the sorcerer's going to.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so these cost exactly the same as Imperial Terminators, and I bet they're probably better.
Stat-wise, pretty similar.
Terminator actually, they have identical Terminator stats.
Makes sense.
So nothing special there, except that they have Inferno Combi Bolters.
Yep.
So AP3.
Yep.
Combi Bolters, which is great. They have Power Swords.
Yeah, their Kopeshes are Power Swords.
Right, they have Kopeshes, which is cool. In a lot of ways, I'd rather have that, to be honest, than the Power Fists.
Nothing too crazy.
The Sorcerer has a Force Stave, and then the same thing.
So let me just list these off real quick. They can generate powers from Biomancy, Demonology, Melthic, Divination, Ectomancy, Geomortis, Heretic, Pyromancy, Sinistrum, Telekinesis, Telepathy, and Tzeentch Disciplines.
That's the Sorcerer.
Look, yeah, the Sorcerer. And
that's
he's a Psychic Master level 2. So it's a lot of options there.
There's a lot of options. Yeah. Champion of Chaos, Fearless, Mark of Tzeentch. Yeah. Oh, that is interesting. The Psyker. So the Psyker, the aspiring sorcerer who leads rubrics was, I believe, mastery level 1. This guy's mastery level 2.
Yeah.
Because he's leading badass guys.
Yeah.
That is interesting. And Veterans of the Long War. How many more of them can you take? 5 extra, so you can have a 10-man squad, which is pretty cool. 1 per 5 can update to have a heavy warp flamer or the Soul Reaper cannon. So the heavy weapon. So 1 per 5.
For every 5 models in the unit, 1 Scarab Occult Terminator can also take a Hellfire missile rack.
Which is this dude.
That's what we've been wondering for a while.
That's the dude with
those
little missiles.
Little V shape.
I'm sure they're probably broadly equivalent. They're roughly equivalent to a Cyclone. I'm sure. Yeah. Yep. The Sorcerer can get a Power Sword.
Sure.
And he can take Gift of Mutation. Oh, and these guys can take a Chaos Land Raider.
Very cool.
I like it. Okay, let's talk about formations. This book has 6 formations in it.
For the Thousand Suns.
For the Thousand Suns. Yeah. In this section, we're going to show you these 2 as a sample. And
again, that's not counting the big Decurion style formation.
This is correct.
This is
just normal formations.
Right.
Normal formations.
First off,
the Zongor Warherd and the Sekhmet Conclave. I apologize. I'm sure some of these words are possibly taken from Egyptian or bastardized Egyptian. I am from Texas, so I'm probably butchering this. Get used to it.
Here we go.
I have my limitations.
Zangor Warhorde. So this formation consists of a sorcerer, which is either a regular sorcerer or an exalted sorcerer, 3 units of Zangors, and 0-6 units chosen from the following, either more Zangors or Chaos Bond, which is kind of interesting.
Okay. So you'll note that the max unit size of this is 1 sorcerer and then basically 9 units.
Right.
3 and then up to 6 of the others.
Right. That gives all of them fleet, which is pretty good. On top of that, they have the special rule here, Arvoracious Vigor. Zangor units from this formation can run and charge in the same turn. In addition, if a charging Zangor unit rolls 9 or more from its charge for its charge roll, add 1 to their strength and initiative for the ensuing fight subphase. So not only are they charging and running the same turn, they're also basically getting Furious Charge. Which is
if they roll a 9 or better.
If they roll a 9 or better, which is good.
See what they did there?
Yeah.
With the 9.
With the 9.
That's pretty funny.
On top of that, favorite of Tzeentch, if the Warhorde contains a maximum number of units, then units from this formation can reroll any failed saving throws of 1.
Which is kind of okay.
Pretty cool.
Most of those units spawn in Zongor. Those guys don't have awesome armor.
No, but these guys are just going to run at you, the big crazy screaming horde, and try to tie you up and punch in the face. So
yes,
pretty straightforward. Check these other guys out, Terminators.
So this is the polar opposite formation of this one. This is the huge pile of screaming rabble, crazy birds and mutated birds coming to get you. This is basically one of your choice, Magnus the Red, Armin, a Demon Prince, or an Exalted Sorcerer or Sorcerer, and then 3 through 9 units of Scarab Assault Terminator. So this is the big block of Terminators. So this is the all Terminator formation with some
big
badass.
Block, we're getting there.
With some badass leading them. Also, 3 through 9. So you could have just an insane unit formation of if you wanted to dump all your points into it. But here's what's cool about it. So, first things first. If you had 45 all is dust automaton Terminators being led by a badass marching at you in lockstep, I agree they should cause fear.
Yeah, that's kind of intimidating.
Which they do. That is kind of with their creep. It's the glowy eyes.
It's the glow. Yeah,
it's the glowy eyes. Favorite of Tzeentch. If you contain the maximum number of units, then units in the formation can re-roll failed saving throws of 1, which is the same as these guys.
Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad.
But note,
except these are Terminators. So they have a 2-up armor save to begin with.
So, just pointing out there, if you have, now you have to have 9 of them. So you have to have 9 units, you need 45 minimum size units. They don't have to be, it has to be maximum number of units, but those units don't have to be maximum size.
Right.
So you can
45 minimum Terminators.
So if you put 45 Terminators out there, those guys have a 2-up save and a re-roll in that failed 1 the first time.
Which
makes them
ridiculous.
Pretty crazy.
Now let's just amp up the ridiculous one more notch here. What's that Sorcerer's Sigil Ward
Units
there?
from the Sekhmet Conclave have +1 toughness as long as they are within 6 inches of 2 other units from the formation. So you really do want to take
Toughness 5 Terminators with a rerollable 2-up. I'm just throwing that out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Throwing it out there.
And this is a unit that is clearly designed to emphasize they want you to take as many of them as possible. I wonder why they would want you to buy as many units as possible.
It's not just that, though. I mean, it is.
And they want you to run them close together. So this is a big blob.
Close together, marching forward. Nothing says creepy Terminators, creepy Tzeentch automatons marching forward quite like a giant block of
Terminators with, say, Armin or Magnus right in the center.
Right. That seems cool to me. But
also remember, Magnus can draw a line of sight to anything.
Yeah, he's just in the middle of them shooting spells.
Hashtag Magnus sees you. Just remember, no matter what you're doing,
he sees you.
Magnus sees you. All right, so we're going to flip through this, get you over to the hobby section.
Yeah.
So,
showing off the models.
Showing off the models.
Gorgeous models.
Games Workshop loves to show off the models. Magnus the Red, the Exalted Sorcerers. These Exalted Sorcerers, I have to point out, this is an interesting unit. We didn't show you their rules, but these guys, this is the cheap HQ option.
Yeah.
So these guys are in the army list. They are singles. Like, it's not a unit of them. But when you buy the box of them, you get 3. So you're going to be able to use them for all kinds of things.
I think they're great models to begin with.
Yeah.
You get I think they were $60 for 3.
Something like that.
Something like that.
You get the dude the dude on foot. You get the dude who's floating with
his crazy bird feet.
Crazy bird feet. You get the dude who's on a disc. So however you want to do it, however you want to run them.
I think they're great models.
They're gorgeous. You got a guy with a normal helmet. You get this crazy sorcerer dude with horns on it, with horned face. You get the guy with the bird helmet. I mean, just they're gorgeous.
I just love the Magnus model too. I want to point out he's got like 3 different head options too. So
he does, and he has different weapon options too. He has the huge giant staff, and then he has like the little
just a sword. Yeah.
Yeah, he has like a small kobold, and it even says it says in there in Magnus's background that basically, if you read the fluff of Magnus, Magnus is awesome because this is not what Magnus looks like. Yeah. And that's the thing. Magnus is such a powerful psyker that, like the Emperor, Magnus.
Nobody knows what he looks like.
Exactly. There's a quote from Lorgar during the Heresy that says the only person who actually knows what Magnus looks like is Magnus and the Emperor. Everyone else has only seen what Magnus wants them to see.
Yeah.
So he can appear. He and his weapon, everything about him is a pure projection, and he appears how he wants to appear.
Which is pretty neat.
Which is a really cool concept.
Yeah.
Armin. Luckily, he wanted to appear like a badass miniature.
I know I would.
Thanks, Magnus. Armin. Fantastic model. Ooh, I like how his backpack has double. He has 4.
Jetpacks.
That's because he's so hot. He needs super cooling.
What else do we got here?
Flipping past that, all the normal ones. Rubrics.
Yep.
We just the rubric models, beautiful, fantastic models. Scarab Cult, really, and
I love that they're
Aspiring
based
Sorcerer.
off of the Tartarus pattern.
That is really cool, and yes, it is really nice to see them actually reaching back into the heresy range and saying, why should these 10,000-year-old guys all look just like all be
Modern
using
Terminators.
modern Terminators that the Imperium is using.
Yeah.
Let's give them like their old stuff, and they do. These are all based off Tartarus. I mean, they're embellished. They have so for those of you who've seen, it's cool that within just a couple months we got to see the Burning of Prospero kit.
Yeah.
It gives us the plastic, clean Heresy era Tartarus models, and a Heresy era Ahriman. And then like a month later, we get the 40k Ahriman and 40k Occult Terminators that are still wearing their badass Tartarus armor. Just all embellished and zinchified.
So let's go check out the next big thing.
I want to do a really quick call out. The Zongors are great. I love Beastmen in 40k. How long has it been since there have been actual Beastmen in 40k?
Too long.
I think it's actually
3.5.
No, I think it's Rogue Trader. It's Rogue Trader back when you could do Imperial Beastmen as part of the Imperial Army.
I've seen people do
Way
conversions
back in
with
the day.
Beastmen, but never an official. These are basically Beastmen. Yeah.
We first saw these guys in Silver Tower.
Yep.
From the Age of Sigmar based game, and it's totally awesome that and even then I still remember when Silver Tower came out, people were like, I should totally use those guys as cultists, and I could like cut their little things off, their hands off, and give them bolt pistols and whatever. Look at that.
Now you don't need to.
Now you don't have to do anything. Just go buy them. Okay, this is kind of the last little section that we're going to show you from the Thousand Sons. There's a bunch of more stuff in here. There's psychic disciplines. There's their detachment. We're going to get to all of that later in the week, so it is coming. But we do want to show you their weapons, because everyone is really, really interested in what are these Thousand Sons actually using.
This was the big thing for me. The Soul Reaper cannon, everybody wants to know. It is a 24-inch range, strength 5, AP 3, heavy 4, rending weapon. So it's very interesting to me. It's not quite as powerful as the assault cannon for regular Marines, but the strength 5. But it's AP 3 instead of AP 4, and it's rending, which is super cool.
It's definitely a Marine killer.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cool. And in general, we're seeing this. So the entire Inferno family, as we're finding out from the current Thousand Sons back in the Chaos Space Marine Codex, so the AP3 stays. The AP3 is across the board. So the entire, if it shoots bullets and Thousand Sons use bullets. It's AP3. These guys are Marine killers.
Yeah. And that carries over to the Hellfire missile rack, which is a 24-inch range, strangely enough. Strength 8, AP3, heavy 2 weapon.
Heavy 2.
Which is cool.
Which is cool. It's just a little bit of extra firepower. It wasn't that many points.
Nope. And it's not an either-or option with the
correct.
Correct.
Like the Cyclone, it's just an additional weapon.
It's just an additional.
So that's cool.
That's cool. Strength 8, couple extra shots.
Now here's the new stuff that everybody is really curious about, which is the flamers. Because Thousand Sons. So as an example, your rubrics, they can all have flamers now, and the big flamer option is part of the. Is an option for the Scarab Assault Terminators.
Yeah, that's the heavy warp flamer there at the bottom.
So what we're seeing here is something broadly similar to the Flamer family.
Yep.
Except that we are seeing, as you go up from pistol to the normal Flamer to the heavy one, the AP is getting better in every case.
And the strength is also getting better.
Right. So it's a 3.5, then it moves to a 4.4, then it moves to a 5.3. But the heavy warp flamer is really impressive.
It will kill Marines.
Yeah. All of these guys, pistol, warp, and this entire family uses the warp flame rule,
which is kind of the same one from the Zinch power, right?
It is. It's basically it's a way better version of warp flame. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. At the start of each phase, any unit who suffered one or more unsaved wounds has to make a toughness test. If the test is failed, the unit, so this is done on a per unit basis, immediately suffers D3 wounds, no armor saves or cover saves allowed. So basically, you're just going to
take a hit. Yeah, if you pass though, you get Feel No Pain, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
For the rest of the game, and then on top of that, if you have it, it's +1 to that.
Right. So either it's going to, they're going to attack you with these, and they're going to kill some of your dudes because. Just because, you're then if you lost dudes, you're going to have to make a toughness check. Either you're going to pass it
and get Feel No Pain,
and get Feel No Pain for the rest of the game, and it could stack. You could get really awesome Feel No Pain if they kept shooting you with flamer weapons and you kept passing.
Well, you got to remember too, the unit still has to have suffered one or more unsaved wound.
Right.
So as the unit shrinks in size, it goes up in Feel No Pain.
Right. So. Or you're going to fail your toughness check, and more dudes are just going to die.
Yeah. Which.
So that is a really interesting family of weapons, and like we've seen, rubrics So Scarab Assault Terminators, they can definitely take the heavy Warp Flamer, 1 per 10, and that is just a nasty piece of work. But the Warp Flamer, which is really decent, that is a solid weapon, a 4/4 Assault 1 template. They can all take that. So you could have a 20-man unit of Rubrics that have 19 Flamers and the Sorcerer.
I wouldn't want to charge that with anything.
No way.
Maybe a Dreadnought, I don't know.
So that wraps up the Thousand Suns part of the book, and now we're going to move on to the Chaos Demons part of the book. Okay, Chapter 2, Chaos Demons. This is the second half of the book, which introduces an entirely new army, sub-faction, which is Chaos Demons, really, but it's obviously focused on Siege.
Yeah.
So, flip it into here. Exactly what we've seen here. It's going to have data sheets. It has formations. There's a detachment in there. You're going to get new demonic gifts.
They have their own Warp Storm table, which is
do get a new Warp Storm table, tactical objectives. There's some sample missions. So everything you would expect. And we're going to jump into same thing. We're just going to show you a sample. We're going to show you one sample unit and one sample formation, so you can get a taste of what the.
And they're on the same section.
Oh my gosh, Brimstone Horrors! These are the little cute dudes who were in
Silver Tower.
Silver Tower.
Yeah.
So they are coming to the Grimdark. They have their own section. 30 points for 10 pairs of Brimstone Horrors. Okay.
So again, just want to call out, these are coming from Pink Horrors, who come from Blue Horrors, who turn into Brimstone Horrors. So again, as you kill stuff, they split. So,
yes.
We're not going to get into all the rules. It's a huge section to read through, but again, these are Brotherhood of Sorcerers. Demons of Zinch, Demonic Instability still applies. They can Deep Stripe, and they do have Warp Flame on page 26 here. So
they're cute little dudes. 3 3s. Oh my god, Strength 1, Toughness 1.
Yeah.
2 wounds. Initiative 3.
Do want to note too, each Brimstone Horror model consists of a pair of horrors that share one base and one profile. So
that's why they're called pairs.
10 pairs, which is really just 10 bases.
And if you look at the base, you'll see there's a dude and there's a dude. There's a dude and there's a dude.
So just, it wasn't like you get a bunch of little bases. It's
so yeah, this word pair, that's basically there just for
10 models.
It's just for fun.
It's 20 little models, but it's 10 bases. But pretty cool. They are Psychers. They generate powers from the Change Discipline, and you can add more Brimstone Horrors at only 3 points a model, which, looking at the stat again, Strength 1, Toughness 1, they have 2 wounds, which is cool, but I can't think of any guns in the game that aren't going to make them just pick up a base and go away.
They have a fairly complex special rule here that explains how. So obviously you can purchase them, so you can, which is what this unit is. So you can buy a unit of them, but they do also, if you have a bunch of the models of these things, you can get them for free too, which is what this is. Which is, if a friendly unit of Blue Horror suffers any casualties, the slain horrors will split and create Brimstone Horrors at the end of the phase after all other units have performed their actions and their attacks. One model is created for each slain Blue Horror. If there's already a friendly Brimstone Horror unit within 6 inches, you just add them to it.
Yeah, it's just going to keep splitting.
Right. Yeah. So it's just another tier of, oh my gosh, there's just
if you remember
demons keep on coming.
If you remember the Pink Horrors turning into Blue Horrors thing, this is just another layer of that.
Right. But
so
it's cool. It's great to see.
And they're troops. They're cheap troops. Mm-hmm. Everybody always loves cheap troops.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. If you want, I need a big dirt cheap unit to fill up this section of the board. There we go. Brimstone Horrors.
All right.
A sample formation, the Lore Stealer Host. Lore Stealer Host is the Blue Scribes and 3 through 9 units of Blue Horrors. So it's Blue Scribes and all of his buddies.
Yep.
Their special rules are Seekers of Arcane Lore. Units from the Lore Stealer Host reroll failed to hit and wound rolls of 1 when attacking Psychers or units that can contain any Psychers. And units with the Brotherhood of Psychers, Sorcerers, or Psychic Pilot special roll. Watch out, Grey Knights.
So if you cast Psychic Powers, these guys get to reroll to hit and wound rolls of 1. It's pretty good. What does the Empowered by Knowledge special roll do?
If a unit from this detachment is within 9 inches of an enemy Psyker or enemy unit with Brotherhood of Psychers or Psychic Pilot, at the start of their Psychic phase, add 1 to the strength of all hits caused by any Witchfire powers they manifest during that turn. This effect is cumulative with any strength bonus gained from an Exalted Locus or Conjuration. So, if you are near enemy Psychers, all of your Witchfires are more powerful.
I believe you're going to be slinging Warp Fire, Warp Flame, or whatever it's called, all over the place. And that's a lot. That's 3 to 9 units of them on top of the Blue Scribes. So, yeah, you're going to be flinging Psychic Powers all over the place.
So basically, yeah, these guys are all about finding enemy psychers and going after them. You want them to be attacking psychers, you want them to be near enemy psychers, because they're going to be re-rolling hits to wounds, and all of their psychic witchfires are going to be +1 strength.
Yeah, maybe even more with the Exalted Locust Conjuration.
Pretty cool. So we're going to skip past that and
show off some of the Flamers are back. Flamers
right,
Zinch are
all
totally
the awesome stuff. You're going to get...
we haven't even talked about any of the missions. There's tons of missions in this book.
Right.
It's 3 for the Thousand Suns and 3 for the Demons of Zinch as well. I really like this mission because it's got this weird kind of...
because this is the deployment zone.
Well, the deployment zones are that, but then this weird thing happens.
It's great.
Yeah. So it's this ritual that they have to kind of walk through. So it's cool.
Yeah.
But they have 3 other missions in the book, so if you just want a different way to play, you can totally do that.
Yeah, like I said, there's, and that is going to wrap it up. We have, I said, it's lots more in here. We're going to be giving you guys lots of coverage, Wrath of Magnus, all week long. This is a fantastic product. Let's see if I can work my magic. Can I get them back?
Can you get them back in the stack?
These things like
laser cut.
I can
there we go.
feel the air coming out as I push it. There we go. This fantastic book.
Yes.
And pretty much, if you are in any way into Warhammer 40,000, kind of difficult to not have this. This is you get to find out what happens,
which is a big deal,
with the giant cliffhanger. Yeah. And I will guarantee you, we did not give you any plot spoilers, but there are some huge, crazy, insane plot twists. There are things in here that happen that will change the Imperium forever. The ramifications moving forward are huge. Yes.
Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, there are things in here that would be... I'm not going to say they couldn't retcon them, but it would be really difficult. There are huge fundamental shifts happen to the fabric of the Imperium in this book.
It's very cool.
And then you get 2 new armies out of it also.
Yeah. So go check it out. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS.
And I'm Larry Vela.
Thanks again for watching.